This is the iPad mini. Despite the same small form factor, it's had some pretty big changes. Some of these include the new A15 Bionic chipset, new cameras, and a bigger display. So, is this the best small tablet that you can buy? I'm Angie for GS Marina, and this is our review of the iPad mini. The iPad mini's design is much more modern looking than before, and it now shares the same design language as its Pro siblings. On the front, the bezels are even all around and are much thinner than before, so you get more screen even though its footprint is the same as that of previous generations. The mini has an aluminum back and frame, and we have the purple color, which looks very fresh. The brushed aluminum is prone to fingerprints though. In the hand, the tablet feels great. It's lightweight, has very good grip, and its weight distribution is balanced. Unlike before, there's a side-mounted fingerprint reader and there's a new USB-C port on the bottom. Like on the Pro models, you'll find software support for it too. On the long side of the Mini, you'll find a magnetic connector for a second-generation Apple Pencil. On each of the short sides, you'll find two grills that hold stereo speakers. They only had average loudness on our audio test, but the quality of the sound is very good. It's rich with good bass, nice vocals, and pleasant high tones. Now, on a tablet, one of the most important features is the screen. The 8.3-inch IPS LCD has 327 ppi, which is good for a tablet. Unlike previous years, the mini screen has a 3:2 aspect ratio and trendy round corners. It got a good 518 nits of max brightness and blacks were decent. As a whole, the contrast ratio is excellent. As far as color accuracy is concerned, the mini is fantastic. It has a wide color gamut, and like most other Apple devices recently, it has True Tone technology. So overall, it's a great display. However, there is one caveat. When in portrait mode, you'll notice a jelly effect when scrolling. The left side of the screen scrolls down slower than the right one, leading to a wavy effect. Apple says that this is normal for an LCD screen due to how the technology works. But more than half of the tablets that we've reviewed recently don't have the same issue. So Apple might have cheaped out on the screen of the new iPad mini. But we'll never know for sure. What we do know is that there isn't a software fix for this. The iPad mini has a 5,124 mAh battery, and in our tests it got 10 hours and 43 minutes of endurance with web browsing, and around 10 hours straight while watching videos. This is around the same endurance as previous iPad minis. Unlike the iPhones this year, it comes with a 20-watt fast charger in the box. This got the mini from 0 to 35% in half an hour and to 70% in 1 hour. The remaining 30% took their sweet time with a full charge clocking in at almost 2 hours. The iPad mini sports the A15 Bionic chipset and 4 gigs of RAM. Long story short, this is one of the most powerful tablets on the market today. It should be up to pretty much any task for at least the next 3 years. Sustained performance is great too, and it never gets hot, only a little warm. While the jelly effect might discourage someone from buying this tablet, another thing to consider is storage. It comes with either 64GB or 256GB of storage. The Goldilocks option of 128 gigs is absent. This might end up being frustrating for many people because 64GB is very limiting if you save anything on your tablet, and many people won't actually need the full 256 gigs. The difference in price is around $150 or 170 euros, depending on your market, so the jump up is not cheap either. You can choose between the Wi-Fi and the 5G model too, but there doesn't seem to be a very compelling argument to buy the 5G model considering you can just turn on a hotspot on your phone. The iPad mini sports iPadOS 15. It has sophisticated multitasking, support for a mouse, keyboard, and trackpad, desktop-oriented Safari, and pencil support. Speaking of improved notifications, the biggest change this year is Focus Profiles. They filter notifications based on what you're doing, and they can initiate actions like dimming the lock screen and letting people know if they can reach you. There are quite a few predefined focus modes, including driving, work, gaming, and do not disturb, but you can create custom ones as well. You'll find an app library on the rightmost home screen pane, and apps will be added there automatically when you install them. The dock is always visible across home screens and can accommodate up to 12 app shortcuts. It is very convenient for multitasking, since you can summon it when you're working and then drag and drop an icon to open in a floating window. Then you can either work on the newly opened app as is or snap it into place. Safari has also been upgraded and now opens desktop views of websites by default. You can organize different tabs into groups or use a new voice search within the browser. Still, while you can upgrade older iPad minis to iPadOS 15, the new Mini has something they don't: second generation Apple Pencil support. It will attach magnetically to the side of the Mini and recharge automatically. You can take advantage of a new iPadOS feature called Quick Note, which brings up a pop-up window for you to jot things down. You can choose to launch it via keyboard shortcut or by swiping from the corner using the pencil. There's a single camera on the back of the Mini and a single camera on the front. During the day, the 12-megapixel cam on the back captures pictures with plenty of resolved detail. Foliage was a bit hit or miss, and noise was higher than we expected. Other than that, shots were sharp, had good dynamic range, and had outstanding color accuracy and white balance. Overall, we quite like them. In low light, there's no night mode to take advantage of. Still, photos are acceptable, and they were better than expected. Detail is enough, contrast is good. Although shots tend to be a little desaturated and had a narrow dynamic range, we got no blurry photos, and all of them were sharp and perfectly usable. The back camera can shoot videos up to 4K at 60 FPS. Videos are stabilized and they look outstanding. Everything is balanced, colors are true to life, dynamic range is good, and contrast is excellent. The 12-megapixel front-facing camera has a 122-degree field of view, making it wider than other selfie snappers. If you take normal shots with it, you'll get some of the best ultra-wide selfies that we've seen to date. They have plenty of detail, great contrast, superb colors, and good dynamic range. Noise is low too. Zoom selfies are cropped and upscaled, so they don't look as sharp as the other ones. Colors and dynamic range are as good as with the ultra-wide images though. Thanks to the wide field of view, there's a new feature called Center Stage. It works in FaceTime video calls, and the tablet automatically zooms in and pans to keep you in the center of the frame. If someone else enters the frame, it zooms out, so both of you are visible. So that's the 6th Gen iPad Mini. The design is sleek and modern, the chipset is powerful, the stereo speakers sound great, and the battery life is dependable. The jelly effect while scrolling is hardly a deal breaker, but we do wish that it had a high refresh rate screen or that it had HDR video support. This form factor is great if you don't want to carry around a huge phone in your pocket, but at the same time you want something for that long commute, whether you're reading a magazine or watching a video. Most 8-inch Android tablets are entry-level, and they definitely cannot compete with the iPad Mini in terms of power. It sort of has this small yet powerful tablet niche all to itself. And if you're invested in the Apple ecosystem, then it makes all the more sense to get the iPad Mini. As for us, we definitely recommend it. Thank you for watching, everyone, stay safe, and I'll see you guys next time.